today when we do this segment, it's going to have a bit of a different feel to it. But but when we do this segment, I encourage people to get out their notepads or their legal pads, I should say. You know, just to take notes. And you know,
Kentucky football.
I mean, who knows? Like, who knows, Steve? But
fair enough.
I'll tell you what, we'll just kind of sit back for a couple seconds and everybody enjoys this segment. So fire away.
Did you sleep Friday, or did you just tweet all through the night? Did you
all Friday? No.
It seemed like you went to bed tweeting, woke up tweeting.
Well, I couldn't
tweeted in your
sleep.
sleep.
I had all these hiccups. And people are like, you really need to look into this. You really need to look. And I'm like, there's nothing there at all. Like, and then finally, you know, I get this fraternity that reaches out to me. And it's like wanting to chat and like, what do we do? Nobody will talk to us. Like, we got in trouble for throwing a party. We got beat up. You know, guy put a gun in one of my brother's face. You know, what do we do? And I'm like, well, you go do this, this, and this. And then I've seen it two separate people.
Okay.
At least that.
According to them,
according to them, that Eric Crawford has talked to at WDRB.
Right.
You know, so you've got two different people. Do you have 4 or 5 people that saw the gun? The thing to know is that there were 3 incidents here. Okay, like there was the first incident when they were asked to leave and they put up a fight about it. There was a second incident the day of the night, that the really bad incident, and the second incident is the one that you have on video, and I've sent it to you. But the thing is,
but I can't really tell much. I mean, it's right. It doesn't.
And it's important to note that that's not the fraternity that got beat up later on that night. That was a misidentified fraternity. Like, that was not the fraternity. It was the second fraternity that's involved that got beat up in that video. So the Kentucky football players who did that, okay, they thought that they were going after the dudes that they got later. But they so you got 2 fraternities involved. Everybody's got focused on one fraternity. There's 2 of them. You got lots of people who have bruises, and there's females with bruises around their necks. You've seen some of those photos, and it's like, okay, well, how much more evidence do you need? Want to do? And then I would say, music okay? 2 arrest, 8 charges brought now in 4 months.
Why are there no? I mean, that question is fair. Why were there no assault charges? If this is just burglary,
great question.
That I think there's a lot of questions for the Lexington police.
There are players. So, you know, in discussing this with the fraternity, there's a player that was not charged. I was surprised by.
Okay,
because they allege that, you know, he actually, you know, inflicted some of the most significant damage to one of the attendees of the party. And I don't know if that means that the investigation is ongoing, if more charges will be brought later, or if they can't actually place this particular player there. And one of the reasons why this is that the student conduct review hearing, the attorney that was representing Vito Tisdale had information on this individual and said this football player was actually in quarantine at the time, and it was impossible that he would ever break quarantine and go beat the hell out of this kid. Okay. And so they're like, nah, that was 100% him. And then so there's this conflict about the information. I'll play ball. You know, I'll at least hear, because I have been wondering about, people have been asking me to investigate Vito Tisdale, and I don't do investigations. Can you find out what happened? Sure. So this is the first crack, and I'm like, all right, let's see what's going on here. I talk to them, and the first thing that I can tell is that they're scared, very scared. Like they don't feel like they've been supported. They've gotten in trouble and they've been assaulted. And then one of the things that happened after the student conduct review hearing is that the football players, allegedly from the fraternity, would show up around their house. Girlfriends coming in, and then the girlfriends would come into the house and be like, "They're out there." Is Kentucky football really going to go 8-0 against prosecutors this summer?
Thoughts, Steve?